You are listening to this short video either because you've signed up for the IFT December 2014 Level 1 crash course, or you might be thinking about signing up for this program. What I'll do here is respond to two major questions that have been coming up. The first one is, does it still make sense for me to take the IFT crash course? And the second is, what should I do between now and the exam? Let me take this question first. So, does it still make sense to sign up for the crash course? This is not a quick yes-no answer. We need to understand your situation first. So what I'll do is set out a scenario. You need to figure out where you fit and then decide based on that whether or not you should take this course. The first question is, how prepared are you? Now, I'm going to say that if this line represents different levels of preparedness, where we can say that either your level of preparedness is medium or high or low, you need to figure out where you are at this stage. And one way of doing this would be to actually take a full-length mock exam, and you can either do one of the exams made available by the CFA Institute, or you could do an exam offered by one of the prep providers. If you score 70% or more on the exam, then I'd say that your level of preparedness is in the high category. If you are between 50% and 70% in your score, then your preparedness is medium. And if you are less than 50%, then I'd say that your preparedness is low. This is not an exact science, so keep in mind that we are just roughly trying to figure out where you are. Once you know where you stand, I'd say that for those who are in this medium category, the crash course makes a lot of sense, but there are some more questions to consider. The second one is, how many practice questions do you already have? So if you already have a lot of questions to work with, so these are questions that you've not attempted yet. Maybe you've already bought a package of practice questions. Maybe you haven't even done the curriculum questions yet. If your situation is that you do not have enough practice questions and you need more, then also I'd say that there's a check mark, and it would make sense for you to do this crash course because we offer a lot of questions, and that will be covered on the next slide too. And the third question is, how much help do you need? You might be in a situation where you feel you are already covered, you understand the concepts. When you do a question and read the answer, you get it. And if that is the case, then the crash course will not help you too much. On the other hand, if you get things wrong and you feel that you need help understanding some important concepts, then the crash course can also help you. So a quick summary then of the main points. If your level of preparedness is medium, you would want more practice questions and you feel that you need more help, then the crash course makes a lot of sense. Let's now look at some other situations. Let's say your level of preparedness is relatively high and you have questions to work with, and given that you feel reasonably well prepared, you don't need much help, then I'd say that it doesn't make sense for you to do the crash course. We have free videos available that give summaries. You can listen to those, though there are several advertisements in those videos that you have to live with because the videos are free. On the other hand, if your preparedness is high but you still want a lot more practice and you would like maybe to ask a few questions here or there, then the crash course might make sense. If your degree of preparedness is low, then here is what I suggest. You listen to the crash course videos, and at least the summary videos are free, so listen to those. And if you haven't done any of the curriculum questions, do those. And for that, you don't need to sign up for the crash course. But if you work through the questions and you feel you really need more help and more questions, then you can sign up. But this crash course is not a magic bullet. if you've not studied enough, then your probability of passing is relatively low. Maybe the crash course will help you, but obviously there are no guarantees. I hope that this information will help you determine whether or not to sign up. Now, assuming that you either do sign up or you have already signed up for the crash course, what should you be doing between now and the exam? The first big one is listen to our summary videos. We have created material that summarizes the most important and testable points, and this will help you with your revision. I'd say that you correlate these summary videos with your own notes, and between your notes and these videos you should be able to get all the important points. Also, I do not want you to get hung up on difficult concepts. For example, if at this stage you do not understand the ISLM curve or you don't understand Bayes formula, don't try to spend too much time on it. Just get the high-level points which are explained in the summary videos, do the basic questions that are in the curriculum, and that's it. If you spend a lot of time on Bayes formula or things like ISLM at this stage, then that compromises the effort that you put into other areas. At the end of the day, if you take IS and LM, that's just one learning outcome in all of economics, and all of economics is 10% of the exam. So I would say that IS LM is less than 0.5% of the exam. So, and it might not even show up. So the same holds true with Bayes formula. Next point is practice. At this stage, it is critical that you practice as many questions as possible. And I have written this blog on various sources of practice, but at a high level, do all the MCQ type questions from the curriculum, do all the IFT practice questions for each reading, all the IFT topic wise quizzes. So there are almost 2,000 questions for you to practice. Then you can ask questions. What you don't understand, you can ask. We make a form available, you submit your questions, and then we answer. But this is based on a schedule. In case you have missed certain topics, we will make a special allowance for those who are joining in late. What you can do is, for the topics that you have missed because you joined in late, you can send in your questions by 28th November, and I will make every effort to create a video responding to the questions that are sent in by this date. And this is only for those who are signing up for this program late and did not have a chance to send in questions on topics like economics or quantitative methods. And finally, I'd strongly recommend that you do lots of full-length mock exams. The CFA Institute makes mock exams available on their site, so make sure that you do those exams in an exam-like setting. And if you can get full-length mock exams from other sources, please do them. On exam day, you will be sitting down for 6 hours and working through 240 questions. And that should definitely not be the first time that you are going through that exercise. The more mock exams you do, the better. So that is it in terms of my high-level advice. I wish you all the very best with your studies and on the actual exam.